Okay, sorry about that. My microphone cut off again, so I will be re-recording this for the third time. But I feel like it's a really good read. But yeah, let's just get into it. So we have the Emperor as a situation. So I believe there's a situation at hand that's calling for you to be confident, be more assertive, take more control or play more of a role in things that's taking place in your life right now. Like I know probably most of the time you're being, a little bit passive or just kind of like going with the flow of things, but I feel like right now there's a situation that's calling for you to be assertive. And I feel like with the star card as the obstacle, I feel like you may have like come to a realization about something regarding the situation with you and this person. Because we have the eight of swords at the bottom of the deck, so I'm feeling like you was up in your head for a long time about this person, and maybe you guys never really communicated that well with one another because we have the eight of wands at the bottom, not at the bottom but in reverse here in the past position. So I feel like in the past you may have had an opportunity to voice yourself, like express yourself towards this person, like express your feelings, let them be known, right? And maybe you didn't do it, or maybe you may have had like a deadline where this person was like, moving away or something like that, and you had to like let them know because you don't want to live in regret, right? You don't want to let moments and situations pass you by, different opportunities pass you by, because then at that point you're gonna feel like you didn't do enough. So I feel like with the eight of wands here in reverse is saying that you might have had the opportunity to express yourself and didn't do it, and it may cause you to be up in your head, or may have caused you to be up in your head, because I feel like right now currently you're still thinking about it, but you're not like stuck, not completely stuck. And we have the Nine of Pentacles in reverse here. So what I'm feeling here is that you may have felt like you're not getting rewarded based off of the effort and things that you put into your life, or into like, grounding yourself and taking care of yourself, right? You may feel like every opportunity you had in love recently didn't go your way, and you may feel like, all right, when is it your turn? Like you put in all this work, doing the self-care, grounding yourself, reading books, eating healthier, things of that nature, and you're just like waiting here, like when is it your turn? Like you may have felt like you just, caught a bunch of different bad breaks in terms of your love life, because that's what I really feel here is more so regarding love. And I feel like this person you're dealing with or thinking about is definitely a divine counterpart, because again, we have the situation here with the Emperor, and in the unconscious position here we have the Empress. You guys can see that. So given that we have the Emperor and Empress, for me personally, that's a surefire sign of a divine counterpart. And whether this is your soulmate, twin flame, or whatever the case may be, that's to be seen or to be known. But what I'm picking up here strongly is that this is definitely a very important person. And I feel like you two met each other not by chance, but something that was orchestrated by the universe. Because we have the Star card here, the Emperor here, and the Empress. I feel like major, major arcana cards pretty much confirming this situation with you and this person. This is definitely a past life connection, right? That's really what I feel, and which is why I feel like you were stuck up in your head, because I feel like when you first met this person, you may have felt like those sparks, that intense feeling, like you just kind of knew that this person would be very important to you. And I feel like that kind of caused this up in your head energy, because I feel like moving past that point, like ever since you met this person, things have not progressed the way you wanted it to, which is why I feel like this Nine of Pentacles is here in reverse, and which is why I feel like this Eight of Wands is here in reverse. I feel like there's a lot of stagnant energy regarding the situation, and honestly, I can understand that. It sucks. You and this person are connected on a deeper level, a level you never probably experienced before. You met this person and just instantly knew. You probably locked eyes, and you guys probably held the gaze for a very long time, and you just knew. You just knew that this person was definitely someone you needed to meet. Whether they're here to teach you a lesson, or whether they're here for like to be with you for a long time. But I feel like it was a situation to where you may have felt like you did enough, but you wanted to like maybe try again. Maybe things didn't go the way you anticipated it to go when you first spoke to them. So maybe you was like up in your head about like, do I talk to them again, or how much effort you should put in and stuff like that. And that's why I feel like you're like really up in your head about it, because it's a very important connection. But I feel like you're trying to have that balance between like, like an equal give and take. Like you don't want to kind of like show this person that, because that's the thing, you don't want to show someone like what you feel, right? You want them to figure it out on their own too. You want them to start feeling the same way on their own. You don't want to show them, because it won't feel natural that way. So I feel like you're trying to find that balance. Like, even though things may have not started the way you guys planned on, or the way you planned on it going, you still know deep down that this person is very important to you. So it may have started out pretty awkward, and you probably was just up in your head like, do I try to communicate with them again, like this and that? But I could clearly see that bother you, and that's something you think about a lot. But in the future position, you have the Ten of Wands in reverse. So I feel like you're coming out of that energy, letting go of those burdens. I feel like you're just kind of coming to terms with things. Like, if things are meant to be, is meant to be. Things are going to happen the way they need to happen, and you're not going to stress yourself over these situations, right? You're showing up beautifully, the Queen of Pentacles. So you're very stable, someone that has like long term goals, someone that's very self driven, very motivated, right? Someone that sees the long term picture, trying to set up, visions for after they're working and stuff, right? Pretty much setting up pinnacles for things later on in their life. They're not focused on, the now, but they're gonna put in the work right now to reap the rewards later. Oh, I can't even speak. But yeah, you have here in the what you need to know position is the Knight of Pentacles, or Knight of Swords. I'm getting lost. The Knight of Swords. And I might sound like I'm rushing. Sorry, guys, because I don't want this to die again. So if I start rushing a little bit, that's why. But you have the Knight of Swords here in the what you need to know position. So pretty much what I'm getting here is that there's going to be stagnation here, right? There's hesitancy, but I feel like that's between both of you. It's not just one of you. I feel like both of you are feeling exactly the same way. Like, I feel like you both are kind of overthinking the situation, which is why this like up in your head self sabotage and like negative self talk is here. Like, this is why this Eight of Swords in reverse is here. So I feel like you're definitely up in your head about this situation, but I feel like they are too, and that's why I feel like you two are definitely connected on a level that we don't really know, we never seen before. Like, I definitely feel like this is a very, very important person in your life. And your hopes and fears is the Eight of Pentacles, which is kind of what I was saying earlier. You're hoping that you put in enough work in the situation. I feel like that's the one thing that's like keeping you up in your head, because you kind of might feel like you're in a position of regret, because maybe there's like separation going on right now. Like, maybe this person, went away for a couple weeks, or maybe they went back, moved away somewhere, and maybe they're coming back, in a couple months, whatever. But there is some type of separation here, and it's causing you to be up in your head, like thinking, like, did I do enough? Living in kind of like this regretful type energy. But I feel like you did do enough. I feel like, again, you got to have that balance. You can't just do everything, even though they say the masculines have to do everything, and to an extent that is true. Like, you gotta be assertive. You gotta assert yourself. Go after what you want, and that's kind of what this is all about. It's all a journey at the end of the day, and you're gonna be tested. So you might have anxieties and fears, but I feel like for something this beautiful, the Emperor, the Empress, the Star, such a divine connection, you're gonna be challenged, and you're gonna have to overcome those fears and anxieties. So to an extent, maybe you could have put in more work, but I feel like you shouldn't stress about it. I feel like everything is gonna work out as they should be. And then you have the Hierophant in reverse as the outcome. So I really feel like the two of you are both from like a traditional background. Not saying you guys have the same traditional background. I feel like one of you is probably like a little bit more religious than the other one. and then the other person is probably a little bit more spiritual. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you guys have your own two different ways of like growing up, but I feel like you kind of balance each other out in the same way, if that makes sense. So I feel like you guys like came up from a different background. That's kind of what I'm getting here. But it's not a bad thing. I feel like you guys kind of balance each other out, and this kind of could also, what I'm getting is that this person may not even fit your like preferences as a partner. Like they just kind of came out of nowhere, which is kind of what I'm feeling. Like they don't really fit your specifications for what you want in a partner. But when you guys met, you couldn't deny that energy, that connection that you guys had. All right, so that's gonna do it with the Celtic cross section. I'm gonna be moving into the romantic angel oracle cards. Like I said, I'm sorry if I'm rushing, but yeah, I kind of got to do this. All right, so the first card we have is past life relationship. You have known each other before. So, like I said, this is definitely a past life connection. This is something I felt very strongly when I saw the Emperor and Empress cards along with the star. I knew this was definitely a very divine connection. We have next, you deserve love. You are lovable. So, that is nice. And we have trust. This situation is calling for you to have faith. So, again, there may have been like some type of distance involved, some type of separation going on currently. And I feel like, again, you might be up in your head about, not doing enough work, or, feeling like you're in regret. But I feel like it's calling for you to just trust in everything, like trust the process. Everything is going to happen as it should. All right. And in the bottom of the deck, did I not call this earlier? We have religious factors. Your love life is influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. This is literally what I said. This is literally what I said. So yeah, well, I guess before I end it, I'm gonna pull from this new deck that I got. It's called Seasons of the Witch, Imbolc Oracle. I really like the art style for it and everything, and I feel like it's like something that just speaks to me. So I felt like this was a deck that I definitely wanted to buy. So give me a second. I'm gonna flip through these and I'll be back. All right. So the first card we got is Keening. It says, "Hold on for just a moment in time, acknowledging before release and liberating what needs to be freed." So I feel like this is most likely speaking towards that regret, that regretful type energy that you're going through right now. I feel like you just kind of need to let it go. I feel like it may have definitely been plaguing you mentally, but I feel like once you let it go, things are gonna like start moving rapidly between the two of you, because this situation definitely isn't going away. It's definitely not going away. Next card we have is Cinnamon Rolls. Warm my heart, all deserving comfort, readies my heart. And the last one we have Arts and Crafts. Nothing exists without the essence of spirit. May it be whispers or chants, your energy is what brings life to all that you create. So what I'm getting here is that set your mind on whatever you want, whether it's this partnership or something else. But I feel like you still play a role in everything. You need to be assertive for whatever you want. Like spirit is gonna have your back, but you still need to be like a big time player in your life. Like you can't just sit back all nonchalant and just like wait for things to happen. You still gotta be assertive. So set your plans, set your desires, and go for it. That's kind of what I'm getting there. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Coming of Spring. So I feel like this is kind of like, I'm just going based off the imagery for this one. I feel like it's kind of saying that like you went through a tough time, but I feel like you're now finally like starting to heal and overcome that situation, which is kind of what I was getting from the Celtic Cross. right, with the Eight of Swords in reverse. I feel like you're finally like starting to come away, or step away from that negative energy, and kind of freeing yourself. So I feel like you just need to trust in the universe. Everything is going to happen as it should, and you shouldn't stress about it. So that's all I have for you, Aries. I'm sorry if it felt like it was rushed, and it was pretty rushed because I did this reading twice. Well, I did it once, then I finished the reading once, and both times the reading like cut out. So sorry about that, but I really wanted to get this read out there because this was a very beautiful read for you, Aries. So hope you guys enjoyed the read. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Twitter if you can, if you want. I mean, it's the least you can do, right? But I hope you guys appreciate the video. I appreciate you guys being here, and I hope to see you guys back in the next video.